Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angie from Burton Avenue and I want to show you how to make amazing things with your Cricut. Welcome to day 24 of my 25 Days of Craftmas series, where I show you how to make 25 different Christmas projects with your Cricut. And I also share the SVG files I use to make all of these projects for free, so you can make them too. Today, I'm showing you how to make this 3D lighted Christmas shadow box. It looks so pretty in the day and looks even better at night when it's all lit up. So let's go take a look at the supply list and get started. For this project, you'll need a shadow box, and mine measured 8 inches square. You'll also need 4 pieces of heavy white cardstock, LED lights, clear tape, foam board, double-sided tape, a craft knife and ruler, your Cricut machine, a cutting mat, and the cut file. So grab your supplies and then head over to your computer. The first thing we need to do is grab the SVG file we'll be using for this project. You can get it for free on my blog at burtonavenue.com. I keep all the SVG files for the projects I make and share in this free SVG library. These files will work with all kinds of cutting machines and they're free to everyone. Once you're on my site, just go ahead and click on Free SVG Files and then Free SVG Library. You will need a password to get into the library, and there are instructions on the screen if you need to get one. Once you're in the library, you're going to search for a file called Winter Scene. It will either be listed under the most recent projects and cut files or under the category Craftmas 2020 Day 24. You can also use your browser search to find it. Once you've found the file, go ahead and click on it, and the file will be downloaded onto your computer. Now, when you download files online, they usually come in a zipped folder, and we need to unzip them before we can use them in Cricut Design Space. To do this, you're going to want to go to the location where your downloaded files are saved onto your computer. Once you're there, look for the zipped folder that we just downloaded and double-click on it. And a new window will open, and somewhere you should see an option to extract or unzip. Click on that and another window will open. And this will show you the destination where the unzipped files will be saved on your computer. You need to remember this location because you'll have to get to it once you're in Cricut Design Space. So go ahead and click on Extract, and the files will be unzipped and they're now ready to use in Design Space. So now we can head over to Design Space and start a new project. Once you're on the canvas screen, go ahead and click on the Upload button, and then click Upload Image, and then click on Browse. Now you're going to want to go to the location where those unzipped files were saved. Click on that unzipped folder, and inside of that folder you'll see several different file types listed, and we are going to be using the SVG file. And sometimes the SVG file will actually show up as a Chrome HTML document or something like that. So if you don't see SVG in this list of files, be sure to look for that. So select the SVG and then click Open. Make sure it's the file you want to work with, and then click Save. Select the file one more time and then click Insert Images. And now the design will appear on your canvas screen. The only thing that we need to do with this design is resize it so it fits in the shadow box that we're using. And my shadow box is 8 inches, and so I'm going to change the width to 8 inches, and we'll also change the height to 8 inches. And you'll need to measure your shadow box and see how much room is inside to determine how big to make your design. So once you've resized it, you can go over and click on the Make It button. And now each of these panels will be sorted onto a different cutting mat. Make sure that everything looks okay, and then click Continue. Once Design Space finds your machine, you'll be taken to this screen. And I am using 100-pound cardstock for this project. So I'm going to click on Browse All Materials and type in cardstock, and then choose 100-pound and click Done. And then I'm also going to increase the pressure to more. I tried cutting this in 80-pound cardstock, and I just prefer the look of it in 100-pound. So now everything is ready to go, so you can go load your cutting mat. Place a piece of white cardstock on your cutting mat and smooth it out. Then load it into your machine by pressing the up and down arrow button. Once your machine is ready to cut, the C button will light up. Press this and the Cricut will begin cutting. Once everything is cut, you can press the up and down arrow button again to unload your mat. Now that the first panel is finished cutting, you can remove it from the cutting mat. You'll want to bend the cutting mat and carefully pull off the cardstock. Remove any pieces from the inside that didn't come off with the mat, and then use your scraper to remove any pieces left on your cutting mat. Then place another piece of white cardstock on your mat and repeat these steps until all 4 panels have been cut. Now we're going to work on the spacers for this project. To do this, you're going to take a piece of foam board and cut it into 1/4 inch strips. And you'll need to cut 8 of those. Once your 8 strips are cut, you'll need to take them and cut them into 8-inch pieces and 7-inch pieces. And you'll need to cut 8 of each size. Once those are all cut down, you want to add a piece of double-sided tape onto one side of the spacing strips. Now remove the backing from the double-sided tape and apply 4 strips to the back of each panel. The 8-inch strips will go on the sides and the 7-inch strips will go on the top and bottom. Once you've done this on all 4 panels, you could stack them together to see what they'll look like. If you don't want to add lights, you could add them to your shadow box at this point, but we're going to add lights. So to do this, you'll place the first panel in your shadow box. Now pay attention to where the ground starts, because when we add the lights on the next panel, you'll want to try and keep the lights below that point. So grab the second panel and insert it into the frame. Next, you'll take your LED lights and tape a few of them onto the back of the second panel. And once again, try and keep those lights below that point where the ground started on the first panel. Now pay attention to where the ground starts on this panel. Once again, you'll want to try and keep the lights on the third panel below that point. So grab the third panel and put it in the shadow box and tape a few lights on the back of this panel. Once that's done, you can put in the last panel. Tape down the rest of your LED lights and try and keep the lights below all the holes that are cut in this panel. Once you've got everything taped down, you can replace the back cover of the frame. The battery pack and some of the cord will just hang out on the back, and you can use double-sided tape to attach it to the back of the frame. Now press down the metal strips to keep the back in place. The back is probably a little tight, so you might need to use pliers to help you bend those metal tabs back over the backing. And that's it. It looks so pretty in the day, but it looks even better at night when it's all lit up. Thanks for joining me on day 24 of Craftmas. If you love this project and want to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe so you'll get notified each time I post a new video. See ya!